Cool.
Is that the right spot?
Yeah. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us tonight on Sharky Waters Wednesday Night Dive. I am your host, Dom, and with us as always behind the scenes putting all the wires together to bring this show to you is Tor. Our producer, helping him out, keeping us in line and on time is Eric Ilperman, the clock doctor. And a special appearance, rare appearance, our creative director, Jacqueline. She's here. And with us as always is our Shark Attack commentator, Sandra Bryan. Tonight is a usual night for the show. We're going to do our open swim, 30 minutes with our guest here. We're going to do a small warm-up drill. Other housekeeping that we need to do before we get into that. It's
Your body, you're getting a little static on the mic.
thinking, is that better?
Yeah.
All right. A little stat. Sorry about that, guys. Shout out to the sponsors. We've got Tipsy Tomato, where we go to hang out after the show for our Sharky Waters family pizza party. We'll see you guys there if you want. It's on Center Street and here in Tacoma. Also, Pryan Custom Cues for the custom carbon fiber shaft that I'm shooting here with. You guys can check out that on their Facebook page or on their websites, PryanCustomCues.com. Get them while you can. He's been selling a bunch of them because of the holidays. They're good gifts, and don't forget to treat yourself and all that Christmas shopping that you're doing. Self-care is important too. So we got that, and then what else were we covering? Was Jacqueline's got a vision board? What do you call it? Workshop, and that's kind of in line with our main sponsor, Clean Slate Billiards. If you check out their page on Facebook. They're doing a full overhaul of the management and the mentality and philosophy of how we're going to help the pool community, whatever your goals are for your vision for 2020 and your clean slate that you're going to build for yourself. Come join us. It's down at the Social in downtown. It's right on the waterfront. It's going to be a great environment. Jacqueline's going to have magazine trimmings, books for you to go through, glues, scissors, all the things that you'll need to kind of put together everything that you want to visualize what your year is going to look like. You can put it on the walls. If you've ever been here on the set, you know that that's like a big part of how I function and how I get my things moving in my life and manifest my goals is to put those things like up on the wall and look at them every day and remind yourself. So join us, be there, and we'll get on with the show. Eric, you want to flip the timer? We didn't have a drill. Our guest here is Ron Palaja.
Yep,
right?
Plaja, that's right.
And not Playa.
Not Playa.
To be corrected by anyone else. I was thinking, and Cassandra, I know that you had mentioned on Facebook one time I saw Simon Pickering had posted on Facebook his favorite drill. And if you know anything about the pool players in the Pacific Northwest community and the Canada community, that guy's probably one of the strongest players in 500 miles. So, going to the U.S. Open? Yeah, he won last year's qualifier. He won a free ticket to the show, and then did you? How'd you do?
Not good. I lost to Clay.
Yeah. Yeah, Clay's pretty dang good. We've been we've shouted out to him on James DeVee's episode, trying to get him on. Hopefully, we hear from him at some point.
Yeah.
But he had him in order 1 through 15. But I'll save us the time and the energy of that.
Yeah, you're going one direction, right?
Yeah.
So you just go from bottom to.
Do it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
Is
so
that
you're
what he
supposed to
did?
go
He goes back
opposites?
and forth?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going basically 4-15 then is the idea.
Right.
Oh, well, that's
right.
a lot harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it a lot harder.
So I told you before the show started, we always put the quote of the week up on the board. That's a pretty good, well,
Well, a little thin.
could be worse, but that'll set you up to get down table to the 9.
Let's see if I can reach this.
But I usually put a little thought into the quote of the week on who the guest is, and I didn't know much about you. And nobody I knew much about you.
Yeah.
Kind of the running story, and I know I shared on the Facebook pages, kind of letting people know that we met each other in the tournament, which last week's episode, we had Jesse on, and we, of course, promoted the event and tried to help get more people involved in that, get more people to show up. big thanks to everybody in the chat rooms and in the threads that contributed to that and showed up, came in and took a look.
Last week's episode, we had Jesse on and we, of course, promoted the event.
But so we had him on, and then I played with Matt Wells. I work with him every day. And as we're playing, we're moving along in the bracket. We make it through the first day, and we come back. And I don't know how you are, and you can answer here in a second. I don't look at the bracket too much. I don't spend a lot of time.
Oh, I don't look at anything. I didn't know what the payout was. I don't know who's playing.
I didn't know
it doesn't matter to
was
me,
either.
you know?
Right. Matt did shoot me a message at the end of day one because David and Jesse didn't know what the payouts were going to be. They were kind of like winging it, and because they didn't know how many people were going to show up. And at one point they were hemming and hawing and over this notepad, and the way Matt
This drill is hard.
The way Matt tells the story is they're like. Jesse throws the notepad down and he's like, "What do you think about that?" And you're like, that's strong. That's a good turnout there." But so we played, and as I go into day two, now it's almost unavoidable to know who's still in it, and the contrast between how many people show up at those tournaments on day one and how many are there still left to play on day two is pretty remarkable. And so it's not a lot of people around, and you're looking around, and there's you and your partner, and we're outside, and we're in the smoking lounge, and who beat this guy, and who beat that, who beat this team, and who beat that team, and no one really knew who you guys were.
Yeah, well, I didn't know who anybody was at that tournament. We're from out of town, so there were some Olympia people in that tournament, but.
Big shout out to Mike Vanderbeek. He was here on the show, and the Cedar Inn tournament that they're running down there.
Yeah, it's really nice him putting together that tournament. That was a good thing for Olympia. Yeah, have at it.
Let me at it.
Show me how this thing's done.
And so I didn't realize until you came. Oh, okay. I didn't realize. We didn't realize until, or you. I don't know. You knew right away. You told me that we played in that Cedar Inn tournament. But those are races to one for anybody who doesn't know, and so they can go through like a heartbeat, and there's not a whole lot of time to like really get to know somebody in a race to one. So I apologize for that.
And the tables are also, the old tables anyways were beat up pretty bad and dead rails, and so it's a real coin toss tournament, that's for sure.
Yeah, big thanks to Sonny, the owner there at the Cedar Inn, putting down a lot of money to get 2 diamond pool tables for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah.
You really got to hold that.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't even know what, I'd like to see what the right way to do it is.
And so, yeah, no kidding. And so it's actually on Simon Pickering's Facebook page. He did post one of him doing it. So I've been like biting my tongue this whole time, waiting, because I always like ask questions to guests before the show starts, and then then I'm like, oh, we're burning good content here, But who's your partner? Who was that guy?
So that's Jeff Clark.
Okay.
We play league together out of Hannah's in Olympia, another bar with diamonds. 25 cents a game, by the way, for all you people out there.
Cool. For a diamond table, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I played league with him for 6 or 7 years. He's been a tree cutter for like 40 or 50 years or something crazy. He's solid as a rock. His nerves are totally shot, so he's a great tournament partner and league partner.
He hit some big shots.
Oh yeah, I mean he feels no pressure, and he's super knowledgeable, and I'm really lucky to have run into him and be able to play league with him all the time. And he was up. I think when I first started playing,
he wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I think he was a 620. I think when I first started playing with him, and then he dropped all the way down to, I think last season he got down to like 565 or something. So now he's back up to 590.
I mean, you're still in the top 3/4 of the world, by the time you're in the high fives, though. That's strong enough.
And but he's a great player, and he's we're, I don't even know how many weeks in, 12 weeks in or something out of league, and he's shooting 82%. So.
Wow.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what's your Fargo?
I'm a 575.
Okay, that's pretty strong too, man.
Yeah. And I don't play a lot of the big tournaments and stuff, so.
A lot of stuff's not reported.
Yeah, I go to Lincoln City. Well, I just feel like like the Cedar Inn and League and those kind of things, it's kind of deceiving because it's just a certain way to play, you know, that sitting for an hour and then playing one game and then you sit and it's not like playing a race to 7 or 5 or
spot I
something.
was in.
Yeah, well, now you know how to do it. This is better, right?
This is not the way to shoot this drill.
Yeah, it's so hard not to hit another ball.
Yeah.
But this drill on like super hard mode.
Right.
Right, with all the balls, it's like the hardest version of this. I can imagine like maybe like a 5-ball version of like you work your way up or something.
Yeah, of course.
And just going from one end to the other would be hard enough. You know, that'd be more my
speed. A little easier.
Yeah.
You know, you should probably adapt when you've not gotten, you know, more than 2 balls. That's the.
Yeah.
If I can't do that, I'm not going to struggle too much.
Well, I mean, that's what the open swim's about, right? I was actually, here's what I was thinking about doing on the open swim was we had something like this. That's pretty accurate to how it was. I was really proud of the safety that I shot. I want to see if I can pull it off again.
I remember that.
So
that was the shot.
It was the shot. This was the shot that I thought we were going to beat you guys. I thought, well, if I dig them hard and I like play and I walk away from the table confident, like I knew that I did it on purpose and all of that, I thought that it might rattle you guys because I hadn't watched you guys play a whole bunch, but you guys weren't shooting too many errors against us. And we were getting in some good safety battles. I wanted to pin one to the wall that was like, made you guys feel like we shouldn't get involved in these safety battles with these guys. And it was really close because I had a risk of scratching here and it was too wide for the hit for me to come this way. So I wound up, these were probably a little closer this way because I wound up 2-railing, one here and then coming back out this way.
Yeah.
And got you stuck back that way.
Yeah.
By putting inside English on it.
I don't even know if the 12 was there. I think it was the only ball down there, which was even
a 9 or something.
Which was even crazier. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know.
And that's where that's where I was nervous, of course, that would happen, but I nailed it. I wound up 2-railing into here and putting it.
Oh yeah, you hit it so thin.
Putting them back here.
It almost looked like a mistake when you hit it so thin, but then where it went, I was like, oh man.
That's what I was saying. I had to walk away confidently that
well, I could tell. Like I said, I don't even think this ball was here. I think you got behind one ball that was down here, so it was like no safety net.
And there was an option for me to kind of play the 2, you know, a thin end to the side, but it didn't leave me anything else. You know,
no, that was a great shot. I mean,
we were trying to. We were just at that point in the game. At the tournament, me and Matt were just telling each other like, just no one needs to be a hero. Let's just play smart and play safe. And I just as risky of a safety as it was, I was really happy that it wound up working out, even though we wound up losing that match.
Yeah. And I found in those tournaments we were talking about on the way up that conservative tends to be a little bit better. Just because
Scotch doubles, you mean?
Yeah, Scotch doubles, just those 8-ball, kind of long 8-ball tournaments, because you run into people sometimes that aren't used to playing a half-hour, 45-minute racket 8-ball, you know, and by the end of it, they just get so fried, they're just like, I don't even care anymore, just get me out of this, you know, and so there's no reason to rush anything, and
there's no timer, right?
No timer. You know, it's. Yeah, and we didn't have, I mean, there wasn't big problems with that. I didn't have any crazy long matches with any slow people or anything. I thought it was really good as far as that goes.
Yeah,
you know.
Big shout out and thanks to you because we wound up getting through Ed Hobbs and David in the semifinals. We felt real lucky to get through
What
them.
a match that was.
It was an emotional roller coaster, it really was. We for anybody who didn't watch or is not following the page, if you like the Sharky Waters page, you'll get kind of these type of details. But we had live streamed the first half of those semifinals, but at an angle that I knew the shots and the balls weren't going to be available. But I put the camera right in between where David and Ed were sitting and me and Matt were sitting, so you could hear not only what our teams were talking about, but you could hear what we were talking about to each other. And probably for like a good half of that match, we were talking about you. And I'm like, who is that guy, man? And, you know, and there's a good friend of all of ours who moved from here. He lives in Dallas, Texas now, named Jordan. And we have a rule here on Sharky Waters that
Jordan
you shoot.
Irwin?
Yeah, Jordan
Oh,
Irwin.
yeah, I know Jordan.
You shoot every shot. And that comes from Jordan because Jordan's, he's very sharp with his moral compass when it comes to pool, and we're here to play pool. You never know what's going to happen. That's what's one of the fantastic things about this game.
Well, I'm gonna
Ed
ask-
Hobbs missed a shot. This is the shot that Ed Hobbs missed to win the game.
My question for you
Right there.
was, were you surprised when he gave you that 8-ball?
Yeah,
I mean, I know it was hanging, but I was surprised at that
No.
point in the match. I mean,
absolutely, because the table was cleared, you guys, like this. And
well, let's set it up. Really, how the 8-ball got there is important too.
I can't even remember that.
Matt had it straight in. Remember, he shot he had
That's
this
right.
he had this
That's
shot
right.
on the 8-ball.
That's right.
And he shot
right.
it, and this ball was over here actually on this side.
Yeah.
And he shot it and drew back and got the cue ball there.
Yeah.
And that's why the 8-ball
And it
was
sat
shot
right there.
So that
And
was
so Ed
Hill
was
Hill.
shooting this shot, and he rattled it right there. But this ball stayed down here.
Yeah, it was down there.
He held it down here, and so it was a long table shot. And I had not been playing. I felt like I had not been playing well. Ed wound up shooting me, and I found out later Matt also a private message after the next day that said great tournament, and that's like a big feather in the cap to like a guy my size in the pond.
Yeah.
That it did surprise me. I thought that he would give me the chance to dog that out too.
Yeah, especially when you look
And,
at what that 8-ball
I
cost.
got up to the table and I was able to square up at it before he knocked it out of there.
Yeah, I mean,
I was
and
like
it's
getting
not,
ready to shoot
It's
it.
nothing against anybody, but in that situation, I'm not giving anybody that 8-ball personally. I mean,
Yeah. I was already getting nerves because at that point, it had already come across my eyes how much the matches were worth, and at that point, we're talking $300 a match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's no small chunk of change. You got to
yeah.
let
Well, and if
everything
you
out
look,
there.
if you look at what you guys end up getting with the split and what they ended up getting, that was actually a $600 8-ball that he just raked in there. So
Shout out
for
to
me
Ed
personally,
Hobbs.
yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, Ed the motherfucking Hobbs. They played great. You guys beat him put him on the B side, right?
No, we did not play them.
I thought
we
you
never
guys
played
did.
them. No,
Oh,
I don't know
man.
who.
See,
I don't know who did.
whoever it was. I think it must have. Okay, then it must have been the guys you played before you played us to go to the point.
Oh.
Because
Well, they were going to 3.
that was what I heard was that it was the team that was playing on your table, and I was assuming that it was you guys because you guys were
Nope.
shooting lights out.
Nope.
But they ran out 2 racks on them to win.
Well, they were going to 3. That's a 3 to 6 there, so that's tough to fade.
Right now, who they play. Put 'em on the B.
You're
Oh.
looking it up? Yeah.
Oh.
Cassandra's going to go ahead and look up that.
Yeah, and that match
Cool.
that we played.
Thanks to the people who run that challenge website. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
a formal. You just build yourself a bracket.
Yeah,
and then
I
it
think
keeps
that
the
was it,
history
Aaron
of
and
it.
Brian.
You can always go back.
No, Bobby and James. Bobby Campbell and James.
Oh. Well, yeah,
Let's
those
do
guys.
some warming up to 9-ball here.
Those guys that we played, we ended up having a 45-minute rack hill with them. The ones before you guys. Mm-hmm. That was
Yeah, we were waiting.
Really?
We were waiting for a while for that one.
that was the longest one we played. That and then Jesse and David were the other hill that we had.
So I've got to bring it back to Jordan for a second.
Oh
because
yeah.
What we were saying,
track.
and I'm delighted to hear that you know who he is.
Yeah, I
'Cause,
know Rich too. If you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you know Jordan, you know Rich. I guess.
Absolutely, of course. We were talking about Matt and I before we were playing Ed Hobbs and David. When we were playing you, and you said Steve. That's your partner's name? Steve.
Jeff.
Jeff. And we were saying that your mannerisms and your demeanor and the style that you shoot on the table is very much like Jordan. And we were all kind of tripping out about how you can like show identical qualities to people and not be an identical person to that person.
Yeah.
Then as we were talking about that in our match, you had stopped. There was a moment where one of us missed a shot and went to sit down at the table. And so at this moment in time, if you can kind of imagine the gray area of a black and white turn, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
nobody had gotten up to the table yet, but it was formally your turn because we had forfeited our spot at the table. No one was at the table, but you guys hadn't gotten up, and you were walking, and you stopped, and you were like, I'm gonna go ahead and take our time out. My partner just said something to me, And
Well, yeah,
so in the formal rules, that was proper.
Yeah.
And Matt and I just looked at each other and we were like, oh, that was so Jordan-ish. You know, he because he's like that. You know, the rules are this way.
Yeah.
You have to formulate the game around that.
Well, it would've
and
been-
I just want to say I really appreciated it. That's how it went down.
Well, and I didn't know you guys that well, and
Go ahead.
the situation was that it was a shot that I didn't see. And then he said he had left me there, and then as he walked by me, he said, "Take the 15 ball," which meant I shot my 1 into your 15 and played safe that way. And I hadn't seen that shot, so I felt real bad because I was like, now I'm actually going to take it after hearing what his suggestion was. And so And if another team, if
filthy on the ethical level,
well,
you
if
know,
you would have heard it, you could
on-
have said,
yeah.
"Hey, that's your timeout," or
Foul or
and I didn't know
whatever.
who you
Yeah,
were,
yeah, yeah,
and you know how you felt about it. So
Which Matt and I had, shortly after that, we had discussed, like, we would never, we're just not, he and I both are just not the kind of guys who would, same with like calling someone over to watch a shot. We're really just going to kind of trust.
yeah,
Or-
I believe he also shot a combo he didn't call against you, and I was like, Jeff, come on.
Yeah.
But it was pretty obvious. But once again, you just don't know. You know, I just always err on the caution of playing by the rules. You know, and then nobody can say anything to you. It's just cut and dry. And
Yeah.
you know, we were playing league last week, and I rolled up. The 8 was here, and I rolled up right here with the cue ball. And on that shot, I nudged one of the balls about that far against Mike actually. And I said,
Yeah.
"You want me to move that back?" And he said, "Like it matters," you know. But I just couldn't not say anything.
Well, we had a. So forgive me because this is the
Oh, yeah,
open
that's fine.
swim. But we had a shot on our second match of the tournament. This guy is shooting. Imagine the shots like this. He's got an 8 ball down here, and he's got a. And this is a. Throw me one of those stripes, will you?
Where are they at?
They're under the ball. Under
yeah.
the pot. Yeah. And so he's got this kind of shot here. I think it looked like this. Yeah. And so he shoots with the cue ball. There's another one. Yeah, it was like that. It's like this. He shoots this ball in, and he follows to right here. Right? And then he's like, and there's nothing else on the table. He shoots this ball all the way down, and it goes in, and as he shoots it, he cues it, and he hits this ball just like this with the side of his cue, and it comes out like that.
Yeah.
And he looks at me, and I'm like, "We'll let it stay there." And he's like, "Yeah, I bet you will."
Wow.
You know, and so
Yeah.
he wound up having to kick at it. But that's the rules, you know. You get to choose whether you leave it there or not. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they wound up, you know, they missed the kick, and we wound up going out on them.
Yeah, and I'm always kind of foggy on that aspect of it when it's in mid-shot and all that. I don't know if is the rule the same.
It all depends on APA or BCA too.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
Because I don't know about that. Like
It definitely
I know if you-
hinges. A lot of it hinges on if it was being interfered into the shot itself.
Yeah,
you know, If
yeah.
I move this ball, and it's got nothing to do with you shooting the 1 ball and getting to the 2 ball, but if I move it and now the 1 ball like transcends where it was, that can be dependent on the.
Yeah, I know.
sanction
Like
of
if you
rules.
move, but like if you touch a ball and then you stop and a ball comes around and hits it, it's a foul after you've moved it because then there's no option to you know it's
Right.
But yeah, that's a
Finicky.
it is a
gray
little bit.
areas within the rules that it takes a level of like gentleman.
Yeah, it's really
Like you say, you don't want any trouble with it. You
Yeah.
always play the conservative side of how that is supposed to be.
Yeah,
or,
and
or
I-
how you feel.
And I don't do, I mean, it's just me personally, I'm just kind of robotic like that, but I don't do really much gentlemanly stuff. I don't know, it's kind of tough, you know, it's a very tricky thing, but I generally try and just do everything by the rules of whatever the format is and leave everything else to,
Yeah.
and you can never get mad at somebody for doing that is the way I look at it.
Yeah,
You know, if
absolutely.
you start making
There's
decisions.
a similar level of roboticness that comes to mind when you're playing champion level pool on just having zero compassion for people, you know, keeping them in the chair
Yeah.
for 30, 40 minutes. That's like a boring thing to do. And it's not a fun experience to sit through. And as a person who like lives by the golden rule of, you know, do unto others as you do unto yourself, that's like a hard thing to transcend. But one of the joys of the game, you know, is to be able to exercise that ability without being a horrible person.
Yeah,
While still having camaraderie.
I just read an article today about Joshua Filler actually, and Darren Appleton was interviewed in it, and he said that they played I believe it was one of those world level straight pool tournaments. I'm not exactly sure which one it was.
Yeah.
Raced to 225, and he said Joshua Filler asked him for his autograph before they started, and then he said the minute they lagged, he showed him no respect. He said he totally changed into a totally different person, and he ran 125 on him. That was 2014, so I mean, that was 8 years ago, so he was only 13.
He was 21 last year.
So yeah, it's 13 or 14.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really up to your personality and how you feel about it, and
He's very robotic.
for him it
too,
works.
and-
He's just once he's playing, he's different than when he's not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, some people get to take a break from that nice guy persona or whatever, and that's what they're doing out here. One time I was playing Eddie Mattia, and we had a really grinding match. Went with Hill, and I went outside, and I was frustrated and having a cigarette afterwards, and he was having a cigarette too, and he was giving me some gesture of friendliness or whatever, and I was giving him the old like, but I'm just like frustrated or whatever. And I was like, I don't know how you do it, man. Because we're such good friends, that I was like struggling to like, and my dad used to always say, when the knife is in, twist it. And I told him, I was like, and I just like struggled to do that with you. And he was like, oh, well, I don't know why you put your shoes on and came to the pool room, but I came here to disappoint people.
yeah,
And it blew my mind. It was just like, well, you did a good job on that one,
Yeah.
You really did. And that's something that you got to get used to. That's a feeling that, and there's people out there like Eddie Mattia who like, they feed off of that feeling, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. Once I see somebody start huffing and puffing and getting real emotional, it makes me play better, and
Another quality that's similar to Jordan, I think.
yeah, but
Yeah, those guys were down at, what was that pool room called in Olympia?
oh, Pauly G's.
Pauly G's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The
you must
old
have
Pauly
played
G's.
there a bunch then. being down
I
there.
didn't play there a lot, but it was a good room. I mean, it was kind of weird, no alcohol, all ages type room.
Good sandwiches though.
They had good sandwiches, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I say, anybody doing anything for the pool community, it's like right on,
Yeah.
But
I hear off in the audience that somebody's saying Bobby Two Banks, and he like randomly messaged me a couple hellos in my messenger a while back.
oh, is that what you're talking about? Bobby Dressel? That's what you're talking about? Yeah. We play league with him now.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Is that
he was kind of off the scene for a while there, but yeah, he's definitely
Everyone's allowed
playing
to
now.
do that.
Oh yeah,
Taking breaks is good.
and I know he, at least as far as I know, played poker and does other things, so whatever. But he's a great pool player, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I played him banks at Pauly G's before I knew what I was doing really when it comes to banks. I still don't know what I'm doing, but before I knew it all, and boy, it was painful.
Yeah.
He'll make you hurt with those banks.
So dadhood, 2 years. Let's go over that. How's that affecting your game?
It's killed my game a little bit, but it's whatever. It's totally worth it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny because I got LASIK surgery about probably 7-8 months ago,
Cool.
and
One of the weirdest things I've ever watched was my ex-wife's video. It was like they let you sit in the waiting room and watch a live feed of them like peeling her iris back and shooting it and then putting glue in there and folding it back. And it's a trip because when you're so close to someone like an intimate partner, like a wife, you you see them through their eyes and you're just like, but we're talking like Clockwork Orange type, like claps, holding your eyes.
Yeah.
It's like very kind of terrifying. It was almost like a horror movie in a sense.
Yeah, the
man.
place
Real
I
weird.
did it was like.
All right,
do
watch
it-
this here. Hold on.
Yeah.
You gotta, in case it turns into a highlight.
Oh, and it almost did. Baby.
I was gonna turn it into a highlight and then scratch.
That better have been a highlight. Yeah, jeez. That's pretty nuts.
Nothing like a jump 3 rail attempt in the open swim.
But yeah, when I did it, it was the actual operating room was like in a big glass room in the middle of the whole place with big screens. So whoever was getting it done, you just walk in and there's their eyes up on the thing.
Oh, weird.
Like for everybody to see.
And they're like, meet Ron, Pelagia.
Yeah, it was. It looked even weirder from the inside, believe me.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Hey now. Yeah, it was pretty bizarre.
Yeah, Max, she was a pool player, and she played significantly better pool after she got her new eyes.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Is unfortunately I was playing, a lot before my daughter was born, and then I started playing the least that I played probably in 7 or 8 years, and then I got LASIK. So it was like I just happened to get it when I was playing the least that I'd played in so long. So I never really got to see I didn't know what the full potential of it was, but.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Weird how the world works. I once moved a pool table out of the home of the widow of the man who invented the laser for the LASIK eye surgery. It was a 8,500 square foot home, and she was the only person who lived there. And she said it took her several years for her children to convince her to sell the house and go find somewhere quaint.
Get a quaint 5,000 square foot house.
Yeah. But she wound up selling the table and a bunch of other stuff. She had a Lexus that on the back, the license plate was "Lasers for You."
Sweet. But yeah, no, fatherhood's been good. Now I got a table at home that's sitting there waiting. It's gonna get done on Tuesday actually. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll get back at it a little bit more.
Yeah, who's doing it?
The funny thing is, I didn't know you did tables at all, but it's a
Can't
guy.
reach everybody.
Randy Smith in Portland.
Oh, he does great work.
Yeah.
He does phenomenal work. He did Sean Lewis's table when the pockets got reduced, and that table is lovingly known as the demoralizer here in the Tacoma community because the pockets are 4 1/4, but the way they're cut, it's at the angle of them that makes that table play so precise to
super straight or something.
Yeah. You really got to hit it right.
He actually mentioned that table when he was over at my house, but not because of the pockets, because of the floor. Did you hear about that? How it was the way that it was gonna be sitting, it would have been level, but you would have been standing a little higher on one side than the other. Yeah. So he Jimmy rigged some way to redo the whole floor so it'd all be level just for the pool table. And
in his garage.
That's what he told me.
That's because when they build a foundation, before you can get it inspected and cleared to build walls onto, the inspector has to come through and make sure that the foundations of the garages have a 2% grade so that evaporation of fluids whenever the car's going can travel. And it's a real common problem that when you install a pool table in a garage, that the lower side of the side closest to the garage door is going to be taller. And somebody who plays as high level as Sean, those little, some people would call it a minute gives a shit, but to him it was like, are you kidding me? This thing's way up here over here, and it's way down here over here. That stuff's real extreme for him. He can deal it. But he did. He wound up solving it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's it's got to be right. And my thing is my ceiling is too low. So if you're full, you're going to be hitting the ceiling full up and down masse, which is pretty rare, but it's still kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
You want it to be perfect, but
yeah. Well, be sure to let Randy Smith know that I got a lot of respect for his work and was real impressed with that table because I did a refelt for Sean not too ago.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it. I don't. Do you know who Sam Rabito is?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's an Olympia guy, but he did his table, and that's where I got the reference.
Yeah.
And
I'm certain that thing's gonna play real good.
Yeah, it's a 1912 Brunswick Reno.
Oh, well, then it'll play like it's from 1912.
Yeah, that.
Those things were, nowadays the tables. This is for the crew match. Actually, we're out of sand time. But before we finish, I'll just say with a little bit of billiards knowledge, the tables nowadays, not this table. This one is an older one, but like diamonds, for example, they're the slates are literally sanded with laser-guided diamond honed sanding machines that are, hooked up to computer labs with, dudes with white coats on, real precise stuff. And like Brunswick, out of New Brunswick, Canada, and like where the slates came from there was like Italy, and you have like Irish immigrants, you know, hand sanding with dust masks, getting mesothelioma from breathing in slate dust. You know, that's like more of the 100-year-old style tables. Some of that slate's still literally like when you unfelt the table, it's got like green looks to it because it's still got copper inside of it and stuff like that. It's like a completely different
interesting. I didn't know
beast,
that.
you know. But it'll play a little wonky in spots, and you'll get to learn about those. And
Oh yeah, well it
use
was a
them to your
gift.
advantage.
I got it given to me, so.
All right, we're out of time here on the Open Swim. Thanks everybody for tuning in with Ron on us on that. We've got a crew match coming up.
For the crew match coming up here in just a second, Eric is still the man on the hill, and we're super fortunate to have Jacqueline here with us tonight. She's going to see if she can knock that man off the hill. All of that and more when we return on Sharky Waters, The Night Dive. All right, everybody, we're back for the crew match. Eric versus Jacqueline. They're going to flip the coin. What are we calling here, guys?
VIP.
Jacqueline's calling VIP, apparently. And it lands crown, so Eric will break. You know, the crew match is something that we take a lot of pride in here at the old Sharky Waters. Behind the scenes, we're a very boisterous bunch, very competitive bunch. We like to have a good time, but we also like to win. We are trying to be sharks out here, after all. And so while you get some very high-level action in the Shark Attacks with our featured pool player, you know, we've had David Lash, we've had Ed Hobbs, we've had Damian Pompernick, a lot of people that really know how to play this game well. But what you do get in the crew match that you don't always get in the Shark Attack is character development. You get an ongoing rivalry. You get a serious great safety there by Eric. Buries the 1 ball behind the 2 and the 8. What I was going to say is you get just episode after episode of tension building between us crew members. You know, we're it's all love at the end of the day, but when we're on the pool table, we're out for blood. So you can see Jacqueline really paying some close attention to what's going on the table here. She tries to kick around and she scratches coming in contact with the 6 ball instead of the 1, so that'll give Eric ball in hand. Not sure if you're out there, but a shout out to Miss Clara, who had breakfast with Dom and Jacqueline and myself this morning. Just an absolutely fantastic person to be around, and very intelligent and intentional with her communication, teaching us all some important language about community and how we interact with the people around us. So Clara, if you're out there, big thanks for all your wisdom and kind words. We're very appreciative of you. 1 ball in the corner pocket for Eric. He gets good leave on the 2 and hits that in the corner. 1 ball was in the side pocket, I'm sorry. But I digress. Little movement on the 9 and the 8 after he hits the 3 in that side pocket there. 9 and the 4 is what I meant to say. He's leaning far over that table to get a look at that 4 ball. And he just barely gets it off the fin. Can't get the angle. But he leaves Jacqueline so close to her work there. Surveying the situation, breathing deep as she thinks intently about this next shot. This could decide the entire outcome of the game. If you look at what we're sitting with on the table here.
And Dom here in the commentary booth with Tor. I was just noticing how Jacqueline's looking down at that purple ball, wearing that lovely purple sweater. That is clearly her ball. She's probably going to wind up. Well, good thing she didn't sell it out.
Tough angle to try and hit there. I don't think she ended up where she wanted, but you're right, Dom. She did fortunately avoid that danger there of the side pocket, and while Eric's got a good look at this 4.
I'm looking at the table and everything looks pretty cut and dry here. What I'm real curious about is this beautiful stone that's in the commentary lounge. Somebody tell me what's up with that. Tiger's eye? Wow.
One of part of Jacqueline's collection, no doubt. Our top geologist here in the crew, as well as GIS coordinator, creative director. She wears a lot of hats, really. Six in the side pocket. Good look at the 8. Where that 9's glued to the rail, though, I think that's going to be some trouble if he doesn't get the right lead here. Yeah, and he just gets a little bit closer and at a weirder angle than I think he hoped for.
Yeah, he's pretty frustrated about that, but I don't know. I wouldn't be. I think I know a trick. I know a shot for that shot. See if he does it.
It's reminded me of some topspin drills that Eric and I were running earlier in the spring, but that angle's real tough to get that to go down the line like that. And he was so close, but he just leaves Jacqueline almost with the mirror image shot on the other side of the, a little deeper and a little tougher angle. But yeah, I don't think she's going to have the opportunity to try to run that down the long ways of the table. I think she's going to be looking at a kick or something coming off the rail. And she drills it. Oh, no.
Shoot every shot. Shoot every shot. Oh, you won that game. Man, every shot. That was a sweet bank shot. You got to spot it and shoot it. Oh, yeah, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Dom's reminding us of the house rule that we shoot every shot, and that means even a scratch on the 9-ball, we'll be spotting that, and Eric has ball in
This
hand.
is a bit more pressure than I was expecting after I give you the hug.
Shout out to Jordan Irwin. This shot is not a zero pressure shot. You know, anything could happen here. He could put just a nano gives a shit on the wrong part of the contact point. Good shot.
Even with all of that happening right there.
You almost wonder if there's some attemptive commentator's curse there as
the moment I hit the ball.
as
Mid-sentence.
Eric closes out that rack. Well, Eric will stay on the hill. Good game on the proverbial hill that is being king of the hill, of course. And Jacqueline will have to wait for her turn again in a couple episodes. In the meantime, we're going to take another short break while Dom and Ron come back from the green room, and we'll be in the midst of the shark attack. All that and more when we return on Sharky Waters, The Night Dive. All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm your co-host, Tor. Welcome back to Sharky Waters Night Dive. We're here in the commentary booth with Cassandra Bryant. Cassandra, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing super well, thanks. Why don't you tell us about what we're about to get into here?
All right. We're about to start a 9-ball race to 7. The gentlemen are about to lag for the break here. In 9-ball, you must hit the lowest ball first. Any ball must hit a cushion after contact. The 3-foul rule is in effect in winner breaks. For anybody who does not know, the 3-foul rule means that if you or your opponent fouls 3 times in a row, the other person gets that specific game. You must let them know after 2 fouls, though, that they are on 2 fouls. You must give them a warning.
Wow, yeah, that 3-foul rule is a killer. I think we haven't seen too many people succumb to too many issues there. But we had someone earlier this season, didn't we, that took 2 3-foul, lost 2 racks to the 3-foul rule. I'm trying to remember who that was.
I don't know. It wasn't me, though.
Definitely was not you. No. Eric's telling me from here in the commentary booth as well. He goes, well, I know, Tor, that you did a lot of push-ups. No, it definitely was not me that double 3-foul lost. We'll have to check the stats. Dom's turning around and reminding us that he knows the answer. Well, you're in the middle of an important match, sir. We can't be bothering you with such affairs. Surprisingly, dry break.
Was it Mike Sells? It might have been Mike Sells. It was Mike Sells.
I think Dom's helping us recall that I think it was multiple people that actually have done that. Well, Ron made easy work of the 1 ball in the corner.
He opted to kick at that 2 ball. He must not have had a good look at it. Almost got safe behind that 7, but the 2 squeaked out enough for Dom to see. Great shot. He's making his way around the table. Comes around that 9 ball nicely for a good view at the 3. Nice little layup there for the 4.
Little bit of danger there with the side pocket. He avoids the scratch. Lands a little close to the 6, but I think he's okay.
Got a little bit further from his work than he had wanted and ends up overhitting that 3 ball a little bit. Or 5 ball. My mistake. 5 ball.
Fortunately, doesn't leave the easiest cut here.
Ooh, he overcuts it. Looks like Dom might have to kick at it, though. Ooh, great attempt. Misses it very narrowly there.
As the guys are playfully toying with when to pick up the ball for ball in hand. Ron will be shooting at this 5 in the corner now.
Gives it just the right amount of gas here to get a good look at this 6. Holds it there for the 7 ball.
Like the stop shot for the leave.
Yep. It's going to work out nicely. Perfect shot. Great leave on this 8. Wanted to give that draw a little bit more. Great shot on the 9 ball. That brings the score 1 Ron, Dom 0.
You know what I like about the shot on the, I believe it was the 7, it might have been the 6, but it really shows the, like, how little room you have to cheat the pockets on a table that's cut like this, and you had to really cheat the pockets to get the leave. Dom's pointing out that it was the similar situation with the 5 ball.
Two ball flies into the corner pocket. Oh, he tries the bank and it just rattles out of those pockets. They're pretty tight. Leaves Dom in an awkward situation for this 1 ball, though. Dom goes for the safe and just doesn't hit it quite hard enough to touch a rail afterwards.
Really liked where his head was at there.
Yeah.
You know, we heard both of these guys talking before we turned the cameras on about their match over the weekend. Nice one in the corner pocket. Their match over the weekend where the guys were kind of testing each other a little bit with some safeties, and makes you wonder how much of that we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, some one-on-one action instead of some doubles. Oh. Tried to force that one into the pocket, and it just said, nope. Dominic's going to be kicking at this 3 ball. Favorable lead for a miss. Oh. Dom barely misses the 3 ball. Looks like Ron's lining up for the gold here. Great
He
shot.
nails it. We were talking amongst ourselves here in the commentary booth about how there was no call at the second foul. And Cassandra, I hate to throw our guy under the bus here, but just for sportsmanship's sake, do you want to explain again to our listeners and to everyone here, how does that 3 foul rule work?
So that was a really great example. If your opponent fouls 2 times in a row, you have to tell your opponent that they are on 2 fouls in order to call the 3 foul rule on your opponent, where you win the game if you can foul them 3 times in a row from a scratch or not making good contact with the ball or hitting a cushion or a rail afterwards. So we were talking about how Ron didn't call Dom on the second foul there. It worked out because he made the 9 ball. So he's up 2-0 on Dom.
Yeah, you could, despite the foul situation, you could clearly see the confidence in just the
Shot.
win within sight.
Yep. 5 ball went down on the break. Came up to the table and tried to play a safe. Gave Dom a little bit of room to see it though. Looks like Dom hit the backside of that 1 and popped it into the 2, but just wasn't convinced that it was going to go into that pocket. Ron takes the opportunity and sinks it. Top English gets him around the table. Come back up for this 3. Ooh, he wanted to draw that back a little bit more for the 4. Try and take it in the side. He's stuck in this 50-50 place right now. Does he want to put it in the side or all the way down?
Yeah, you could see him line it up and considering the leave he's going to need on the next ball. That was definitely a successful and effective shot there.
Yeah. Went a little far. He's not happy about being on the rail.
Just tries to juggle it and just drops it out of the pocket there. Unfortunate miss for Ron. Left Dom with the easy look at the 6 in the corner. Draws back for the 7 in the opposite corner.
Dom's looking pretty good right now. Nice good bump off of that second rail. Oh, tries to draw back out of that pocket and spins the 8 ball out of the side pocket there.
Shout out to Casey Palermo in the chat room asking if we talked about the push-up rule for scratches. And I don't know if that came up, but
Something you should be aware of, but it's more fun if you surprise them with it.
true. Maybe we'll hold off.
Great shot. Great shot. Made good connection with the 9 ball to bump it out too. Ron is playing great right now.
Yeah, love this guy's game. Seriousness, even with all, our goofing off back here in the commentary booth, still bringing very high level game.
Brought his
here
A
to the
game
table.
tonight.
Absolutely love what we're seeing so far. 3-0. Now, Casey, to your question in the chat room,
We should tell him. He's, right?
how we've been playing it for every episode so far is if you have ball in hand, and if a player has ball in hand and they scratch, you owe the house 10 push-ups.
Luckily, I have not had to give the house 10 push-ups yet. In all the games I've played here.
Yeah, you've played real strong, and I think your record is like more wins than losses in the crew match, or at the 50% mark, or somewhere around
this
there.
season, yeah, definitely this season. I'm beating Eric. That's all that I care about.
That's what I'm talking about with the competitive. That's what we like to hear.
I mean, I would have to go through and rewatch all of, the crew matches in the last 2 seasons to come up with who has the higher win ratio, Eric or I. I'm pretty sure it favors me right now.
I think it's close, but I would tend to agree, and the only reason is because you've played more games.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter in the ratio.
Yeah, it does. Great
Oh,
shot.
and the
Great
two
jump shot.
Just follows in the corner. That was such a great jump, too.
Yes. It's unfortunate. It is. It's really unfortunate for that to happen after such good contact, such a good shot.
Ron back up at the table, makes easy work of that 3.
Gets pretty tight angle on that 4. Plays it nicely though into the side.
Yeah,
Draws out a little bit.
It's not easy when it's real close to the side pocket like that.
Great shot. Great float over for the angle on the 6 ball. Nice speed on that draw. Great little stun there for this 8 ball to get there. Put it in the side pocket.
I don't like it after watching you try and slam it into the side. Didn't turn out so well.
Yeah, there's a weird rubber in there I haven't changed. Yeah, that's the rubber that came with it. We call it refinery rubber. All Birdie put it on there.
Oh, he tried the cross bank. Almost came around to the other side. And then again on the same pocket. This gives Dom a chance here. Great attempt. I know he was thinking that was pretty close to the side pocket. He was trying to put a nice stun shot on it to try and avoid it.
This is an interesting predicament here,
Yeah.
and it's looking like a big kick off of the length of the table.
Yeah.
You can see.
Oh, he decided to put some spin on it to try and make the kick, but it doesn't look like it worked out for him.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, I think this is the first time Dom's got ball in hand in this rack.
You know, the cue ball and the 8 ball were almost mirror image if you were to cut that table in half, and
Yeah.
as Dom gets the 8 in the corner, you could just see on the overhead view here that long kick was just left of the logo, and that's
Dom leaves the 9 ball on the table for Ron to clean up. Those side pocket shots are giving us a lot of trouble tonight. All right.
Ron's able to clean it up.
Brings the score 4-0. Ron. Pretty sure Dom's going to catch his gear here soon. Four ball goes down on the break. Ron can see the 1. He opts for the safe.
Just a little long. He hits that outside fin and pops it back out for Dom to take a look at the 1 here.
Yeah. He hit the backside of that 8 ball too, which he was trying to hide behind. some inside spin on that 9 ball, on the 1 ball, brings the cue back up table for the 2. Nice speed. Nice soft shot on that 2 ball.
Rattles that 3 a little bit and pops it back out.
Power does not seem to be their friend tonight. Keeps throwing the balls out.
It absolutely does, you know, and I may be out of my depths with a statement like this, but it seems like not necessarily that offense is everyone's friend tonight either. Three in the side pocket there by Ron. You know, obviously you have to make the shots to win the game, but part of that is making sure that your opponent can't make their shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Defense wins Super Bowls.
Absolutely.
Great shot by Dom. Drifts up a little bit close to the 6, but he's got it. Nice recovery. 6 ball on the side. Beautiful shot. Nice 7 ball. Comes back and bumps the 9 ball from the 8. Excellent out.
Great out by Dom. You could see where he was left with that 9 by his body language, that he didn't entirely get what he was trying to manifest there, but able to just roll with the punches and see an alternative way to get an out in that game, and he was able to execute.
You got it. Look at Franklin, he doesn't know how to rack. I know.
Never seen a pool table without a dot.
Well, that'll put us at 1-4, and finally we're seeing that cue ball on the right side of the table again as Dom's up to break.
5 ball slams into the side. 8 ball is quickly to follow in the corner pocket. No, side pocket. Sorry. 5 ball went into the corner. 8 ball went into the side.
You like to see the short shot here with the easy look at the 1, but that 4 ball there puts us in a bit of a predicament.
Yeah, because you got to plan for the trajectory of the 1 ball and where the cue ball's going to go. I like that he hit it kind of soft.
Yeah.
Left the balls right there.
Got the shot that he needed, stayed in control.
Yep. Came almost to the middle of the table for this 2 ball with some top, a little bit of inside. Doesn't give it quite enough for that 2 ball, though. Ends up leaving it in the jaws. Great shot. Use some bottom right to widen out the angle. Come around 2 rails. Looks like when he collided with the 6, he didn't get quite the right angle, and he's going to masse around it. Oh, he's going to grab the jump cue.
It's in the trees as they find them. It's in the cars as they listen, my friend. It's in
Great shot. It's a tough angle on the 6 ball, no matter how you look at it. You're either long all the way down or tighten into the side pocket. Nailed it. Cue ball flirts with the side pocket there. Gives him a similar angle down this side pocket, just a lot closer to his work. Draws back to this 9. Is just above the 50-yard line. Sorry guys for all my football references. It's football season, and at this time of the year, I watch almost as much football.
It's like the oblong one, right?
Oh, great shot.
That's enough draw there.
Great shot.
Thank you.
All right, that brings the score 5-1 Ron.
You know, I can tell that it's I can tell when it's football season here in the greater Seattle area because all the Niners fans come out of hiding. Start seeing a lot of red and what is it? Red and gold is their colors, right?
What are you talking about? You see all the green and blue. This area bleeds those colors.
Well, of course, but I just mean that exists year round. The Seahawks being our home team, but when I think we have a second minority fan base of another team here, and I think that team is the Niners.
No, I mean,
And
you're
think
only
that
seeing the
comes out
Niners
during
stuff because
football
they're
season.
having a winning record this year. When they're having a losing record, you don't see as much of it. 8 ball is down from the break. Oh, he barely misses the 1 ball. Gets great shape on the 2, but leaves Dom a good shot here.
Well, Niners fan or not, I gotta say I sure missed their former quarterback, Colin Kaepernick, and everything he was doing for his community.
I do too, actually.
Hell of an arm and a hell of a heart.
Yes.
There's some shark.
Oh, he tried the combo. I wasn't expecting that. Thought he was going for a safe. Looks like Dom might have tried to draw off of that 1 ball and ended up hopping the cue ball a little bit. Didn't leave Ron very easy though. He's got to assess the angle. He's pretty close to it. See where he's trying to leave himself. See if it fits through that window between the 3 and the 6 for the pocket. Excellent shot, great speed for the leave on the 2. power draw there. Draws almost full table. Come back to the middle of the table there. Looks like he's looking at the combo here. Great shot. Ron,
Nails the combo.
he does not shy away from combos, that's for sure.
That'll put Ron up on the hill. You know, really, obviously, we're all new friends and most of us, new viewers to Ron's game here. But like I said, just really appreciate the level of play that we're seeing here. And, you know, we were hearing in the open swim that he was saying he's feeling a little bit rusty due to the responsibilities of home life. And makes you wonder.
What's his real game look like?
Yeah.
He was also saying that LASIK has helped quite a bit. You know, being able to see differently, not look over glasses. And
Yeah. Well, 1 in the 8, down on the break, 2 on the corner. Three follows in the opposite corner.
Yeah. He's got a tight angle on this 4. He needs to figure out how he's going to bring it back around for the 5. Great draw.
Good drill here. Do it again.
This guy has some good power draw on him, that's for sure. He's sure got an arm. Tries to draw it around 4 rails. Collides with the 9 ball. Loses a little bit of speed too. Just looking at a bank here. Comes up short. Doesn't leave Dom easy though. Great try. Those reverse banks are not easy. Nice little pinch there with some bottom inside English. Scoots it to the rail. That's match, guys.
There you have it, folks. Ron takes the W 7-1. Really brought a great game to the table. Better luck next time to Dom, but you know he always comes back and with a vengeance. So we hate to wonder who's going to have to come up against him next week. Well, we're going to move on to the next segment of the show, which of course is the Clean Slate Billiards Break Pot. So thankful to our sponsor, Clean Slate Pool Tables, excuse me. For all your pool table needs, please give them a call anytime, 253-737-7807. If you're in the Puget Sound or surrounding area, we've got a team of experts that can level your table or put new felt on there or sell you a new table or maybe even buy your old one. Feel free to get in touch if for anything pool table related or Christmas is just around the corner as well. Keep your loved ones in mind who play pool. Maybe a new felt or leveling will be a great gift. Well, the rules here, no magic rack. You got to make a legal shot on every hit. You can carom the 9, you can combo the 9, you can run the rack all the way out to the 9. But if you sink that 9, then Ron will be going home with 90% of what's in that treasure chest. Let's see what he can do here on the break. Good luck to you, Ron. Unfortunately, a dry break for a friend. Ron, nice try, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, that is how the break pots go, unfortunately.
Break pots go.
You make a ball every night until the break pot.
Yeah. They all go in left and right until the break comes. It's that the rack that's not the magic rack, man. Eric's got a dirty job there racking the balls
Yeah,
for the break
my wing-
pot.
Pretty close. There was a little bit.
Oh, well, it was fine. It was fine.
2 little cleanups that I lost track on during the open swim is I wanted to thank you. We had my son there at the finals.
Oh, yeah.
And we threw it to him that we could try and stay for a long time and win the big money, or we could stay for a little bit of time and take the little money. And he was like ready to go. And so he was like happy about taking the little money. We tried to reword it to him because we really want to grind it out with you guys, me and Matt.
Yeah.
And so we tried to reword it to him, and he told us again, man, no, let's get out of here. So we went and presented it to you guys, and you guys bid at the bait at that negotiation. That was awesome. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then I began to say the quote of the day, and it is, one is never afraid of the unknown. One is afraid of the known coming to an end. So on that note, it's a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you, Ron, for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
And it was a pleasure playing against you in that tournament. Big thanks to Jesse and David Ringler. Jesse went and finished taking all of that money that everybody donated and bought more toys. We had four top booths full of toys as tall as me that is going to the Seattle Children's Museum. Jesse went to the store, bought $400 or $500 more worth of toys. They're going to go there and donate those to the kids. That was all because our pool community pulled everything together. I know I made a post about it the day of. That's where the virtue of the word comes from, is back in the Depression, men used to meet at the billiards halls. You know, there's a lot of labor forces and labor lines outside of your Home Depots, outside of your Lowe's and stuff like that, where people try to find jobs in a low economy. That stuff used to happen in the billiards rooms, and so people would get their jobs, and if they didn't get a job during the day, they would pool their money together and they would play for it, and somebody would go home with a little coin. So great job to the community and everybody who shared and contributed to that, because we really pulled together a good Christmas for those kids at the hospital. Thanks to everyone who did that. Shout out to the sponsors. Tipsy Tomato will be there in a little bit. Get our pizzas and our mitzas going. We'll be there shortly. Harold Pine Cues. I didn't do the cue justice this evening, but I'll be getting back to the practice, and we'll get back to it next week. Our guest is going to be Alex Bontanovich. He's flying in from Florida. He's a pro golf caddy who used to play out here in the area. He's looking way forward to coming onto the show. He's been on the books for a while. Can't wait to see you. And then in the future beyond that, I know that we have Daniel Wingate and Matt Wells, my partner. Big shout out to him. Man, a 5-1 whooping doesn't give our team justice. I really would have used you out there, and who knows how that finals would have gone, but let's hope that we would have had them. You know what I mean? Keep your practice together. Thanks to Simon Pickering for the idea on the drill. Hope you're checking out the show someday. We'd love to have you on. You certainly play well enough. You guys keep your practice up. Perfect practice makes perfect performance, and enjoy peace.
Nice show.
Yeah, great job, Ron.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.